Hey, what's going on, everybody? And there's five here. Oh, wow. What a crazy new year, huh? But, yeah, sorry for the delay. I've been, on hiatus for a whole week, doing the Christmas thing and, like, the New Year's thing. And I'm just, like, getting ready to, start fresh and, like, make some new videos for the new year. You know, probably some feature, stuff coming on in the future, but I won't tell you right now. I'll just tell you later on. And like, I just hope everybody had a good Christmas and the New Year and everything. And I'm gonna kick it off with since I couldn't do it last week, I'm gonna do last week's chapters for Naruto, One Piece, etc. Let's start off with Bleach first. The least favorite of my three top mangas. Okay, in Bleach to 478. Before I get into the chapter, I just want to say, Kubo, did I miss something? Like, it's not because it's not. I'm not saying this because it's like when you look at this chapter, you would be looking yourself like, did you miss something? Like, what happened? Why? You know, instead of it showing what happens like after the fight, like right immediately after the fight, it shows stuff that happens like I don't know. I guess let me just explain. Just talk about it in the chapter. All right. So it's night, the moon is setting, and we see Tsukishima. He is like just coughing up blood, saying, Genjo, Genjo, like, why'd you die, Genjo? And what really confuses me is that Tsukishima should be dead. Like, he should be flat out dead. It does not make sense for him to still be alive. For one, he has a freaking hole in his chest that Byakuya has struck him with. For two, he's coughing up blood. Like, he's losing a lot of blood. There is no he is human. This is not just some character. Just because he has supernatural powers does not make him immortal. No, he is human just as much as me, just as much as everybody else. It just doesn't make sense how he's still alive. And I'm surprised he has enough energy to be screaming out the top of his lungs. I mean, and to be honest, it's kind of weird seeing Tsukushima, freaking out like this. Because usually he's like the calm, solid guy. And to see him just be all open with his emotions, it's kind of like just it's a surprise even to me. It surprised me also when Aizen did it, because I mean, yeah, Aizen, I haven't seen that mode like get scared one single bit until he fought Ichigo in his new power form. uh Tozen, I would say Tozen is kind of quiet too before or his ultimate death and of Shuhei Isagi and Komura. I'd say he was a little more crazy when he, went full and hollow and then went uh, resurrection on yeah, Genjo's still like yeah, he's still crying about why Genjo died. He's walking around the woods and he's like, why didn't you teach me everything before you died? He's coughing up more blood. And next thing we see Shishigawa and he's looking all serious. What I'm thinking is, I should have, I had kind of low expectations. I know what was going to happen. Like, he got a serious look. I thought he was gonna like, say, I hate you for what you did. Treat me like subordinate and all that stuff. And then, you know, next thing we know, we see him like carrying him. I guess. And then we see Yukio, the game master. He's just, kicking rocks and just walking around. And we see Jackie Tristan, which we thought who was dead, is actually turned out to be alive. And bummer on my part. It's like I wanted most of the Fullbringers to die. I didn't want like a few of them to live. I want only like two or three of them to live. I didn't want the rest of them to die. All the rest of them just to be gone and never come back. And he's like, "Oh, how'd you survive?" And like Jackie's like, "I might as well be dead, so whatever." And apparently Jackie lost her Fullbring powers, which is really surprising because it's like, how did she lose them? Did the explosion, like, I guess, mess up her powers? Or did her power just fade after everything that happened with them fighting in that realm of Yukio's? It didn't really make much sense. It's like, how did you lose your full brain powers? I thought those stay with you until they get taken away from somebody. Like how Genjo took Ichigo's powers away from him, his full brain powers. But apparently not. And he's talking about, she was the one that actually hated her ability, and Jackie's like, well, I guess, maybe the only thing that linked us all together was our powers. And Yukio's laughing like, man, like, I don't remember being linked to nobody with just because you have powers and shit. I mean, I'm me. He's like, haha, laughing it off like it's ridiculous, and then he just walks away. And Jackie's like, wait, let's go together. Let's take me with you or whatever. And he was like, you know what? How about this? Give me 3 years. Give me 3 years on my company to make it, I'll make it 3 times larger than as it used to be. And then I'll come back and have you work for me. It's like, really? Seriously? I mean, I understand he's trying to be all like cool, saying that, oh, I'm gonna give you, just give me time and I'll give you a job. That's what he's basically saying. And he's saying that you're just a bunch of misfits who can't survive without money and any money no way. So just wait, afraid for me, okay? And it's like, what the hell? Like, serious? That was just pointless. And what gets even more pointless is that Ruruka, she's waking up. She's with Ichigo and the rest of them. Ruki looks at her, and Ichigo, he's, just chilling out. We don't even know what happened to, like, not that I care about Genjo, but I would like to have seen what actually happened, because it seems to me they just skipped everything that happened with their battles. We don't know what happened to the captains or, Ikaku or any of them. Like, again, every time Kubo has a battle, has these big battles, he just sidesteps his characters and sidesteps the whole story of what happens in the aftermath. Like, it seems like he just skipped everything from that happens. Like, people need aftermaths in battles. Otherwise, we'd just be confused as hell, because we're like, okay, how did they get home? What happened exactly? Because all we know is that Urahara came and got us. That doesn't explain what happened to everybody. That does not explain what happened to everybody. It really doesn't. Because it, I don't know. Let me just keep reading. Orihime is beside her, Ruruka, and like she's crying, and she's like, I'm glad you're okay. We haven't heard or found any of the rest of them, but we're just glad you're okay. And Ruruka is like, what happened to Tsukishima? And she's like, who's that? I'm like, who's that? Because remember, she was brainwashed by Tsukishima. Her memories of him are very vague because, of basically him is like his powers basically are fading, and so that's why she doesn't remember who he is. And she's like, Ruruka-chan, are you crying? And she's like, I'm not crying. Like, I'm not crying. And this whole little crappy sad story stuff, like. And then we see Tsukishima and Shishigawa. They're walking around the woods, and Tsukishima is like, Shishigawa, like, good, you didn't die. And I thought a lot about it, but I couldn't. And Tsukishima, you're still the strongest. Ha! I call bullshit. And he's like, you can't die, Tsukishima. You can't die yet. You're the most powerful guy ever. You're invincible. Yeah, right. I see it now, Genjo. This is what Tsukishima's saying in his head. It's only after you died that I realized I was able to realize maybe you knew all along. And he was like, thank you, Chishigawa, and he's like, "Psst, what are you saying, man? You know, you my bro. I got your back. You know what I'm saying? I got your back." And like, hey, Tsukushima's dawn, you know, and it, it turns into a crappy love scene basically. And he was like, "I'm never alone. You know, people do care." And I'm just like, what the hell? Okay, this proves my point about the bringers being pointless. This whole chapter was pointless. It's laughable. It's like, what was the point of them even fighting these guys and meeting these guys if they're not going to get any more development with just this arc? This might as well be a filler arc, to be honest, because of how the story was and how the characters are. I don't fully understand why Kubo even brought this story up. He might have well just said, okay, Fullground's pointless. I don't care. Whatever. I mean, what's the point? And people, you cannot argue me about this, people. You cannot say that this chapter was good. I know most of you out there, even even Bleach tars, can't agree with me saying this chapter was pointless, because nothing in this chapter made any sense. We don't know what happened. We know Genjo's died. We know Giriko died. The old man, the time guy, Bradley, Furo Bradley, or whatever the hell he's called, whatever the hell he looks like. We know he's dead because Jackie just said, you know, he buried Giriko, you know, gave him proper burial. So we know he's dead. It seems to me that only Genjo and Giriko are the only ones in this entire arc to die, officially die. But we don't know. But we don't know how Genjo. What happened to Genjo? We know he just got cut like 1 or 2 times and he just fell. That's not really much of like a death. It's just Kubo does not understand how to give characters a time and to get the story straight. He has straight in stories. It just I can't. It's sad to say. Bleach really, it would disappoint me. This chapter did really disappoint me. Not because of not because what happened afterwards. I'm talking about we didn't get no backstory. We didn't get the right close. It just seemed that a lot of stuff is left unsaid, just like with the Karakura Town arc. And brought to my attention, I'm bringing that up, the Karakura Town arc. I just found out maybe a couple months ago when I was looking at Bleach Wiki, like the Bleach Wikipedia for Bleach, that Javier is still alive. This is not a spoiler. This is not a spoiler because this was just happened to recent. We just didn't happen to talk about it in the manga or in the anime. That Javier, the third Espada, is still alive. So was her minions. Apparently, Orihime healed them off screen, and they went back to Mundo, and we never heard from him again. That's basically what happened to him. Yep. We didn't see. You didn't know that. Yeah, most people didn't. I mean, I didn't know about that. I thought the Espada, except for Grimjow, was dead. It kind of just like, why didn't we see her, come back in the arc? It's just like I said before, Kubo does not know how to give good closes to his characters. He just leaves, so he just give him a good story, put him in the anime manga / manga for a while, and just cuts him off, and we never hear from him again. That's how I feel about it. I think I'm ranting on long enough. It's 14 minutes. I gotta end this video. Comment, rate, subscribe. Yeah, give me your thoughts on the chapter. Comment below. All right, and this is I'm out. Peace.